Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited for episode 2. First episode, Patty was able to come to the studio, so we were able to film in person. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, we've had to film the second one in different locations. This next person is VicBlends. Vic is one of the youngest guys that I know that's a barber that's been able to really navigate through the beginning of his journey really quickly. I wanted you guys to kind of see a perspective and thought process behind how he's able to do that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about negativity and how we navigate through that as well, because I think oftentimes this happens to many of us and we don't know how to always handle it. And also learning how to utilize social media. Check out this intro and then we're gonna go right into Vic's story.
It's finally time for me to start sharing some of the amazing conversations I've had with people around the globe. This podcast will dig deep into the struggles and hardships that have been the defining moment for so many. And we'll keep it all in the gold zone, which I define as the area between good and great, the zone where change is made and goals are met, one podcast at a time.
All right, guys, so this is another episode interviewing some of my favorite barbers. We have VicBlends in. How you doing, Vic?
Doing good. How you doing, Soph?
I'm doing good. How's the quarantine?
Shoot, I ain't been quarantined yet. I'm waiting for Atlanta to make some calls. They haven't said anything yet, so I'm guessing they will within the next couple of days. Right now, it's like, what's it, Friday today? So we're gonna hit the weekend, and we'll probably find out when we're gonna be quarantined soon.
At first, it was kind of like weird to just be at home and have so much time, but it's definitely kind of like allowed me to like reflect, like deeply reflect.
It gives you the opportunity to now take that time and then do something else creative with it that you can't do on the regular when you're used to being in the shop or being on the move. So, I mean, you got to look at it from some positive standpoint.
For sure. And, thank you for your time. I kind of wanted to share your story a little bit because I think it's really amazing how much I've seen you grow in a very short amount of time. And the crazy thing too is like when I teach classes and I talk about how everything takes time, I always think about you now because you kind of ruined that whole feeling that I used to have about it. Because I'm like, yo, this takes time. Don't think about it, this, and that. And then here comes VicBlends, who is able to do so much, I swear, within a year. I've seen you grow, not only as an educator, because I remember your first day up until now. Like, it's crazy how much you've grown. And honestly, it inspires me because it kind of kicked me in the ass a little bit of like, dude, you need to wake up and like really push harder. Like, this kid can do it so fast. You are the reason why I can see why it's possible that as things evolve, like you are definitely taking that, the knowledge that's out there and being able to apply yourself and move through things.
Wow, that's still crazy for me to hear that coming from you, but, I got to give y'all credit more than anything. I've been able to do it a lot quicker, but you guys have done it a lot longer. And, with the opportunities we have now to learn from people like y'all that are amazing educators and have gone through the years and years of experience, like, you guys give us the platform, you guys give us the opportunity to now learn quicker than we've ever have. With the YouTube you're putting out, with the classes y'all teach, with the master class you created, with opportunities like that coming from the OGs, it's people like me that are coming up fresh in the game that, if you see these opportunities and you have this chance to grow and learn, it's very few people really take advantage of it and they apply it. I've been one of the few people that have actually applied every opportunity that I've had given to me, and, here's the result of it all. But, y'all, you got to give yourself some credit, though. Y'all laid a crazy foundation, like, for me to be who I am. And, I always tell everybody, every time I talk about you and our relationship, is like, I'm still a big fan, but, I was such a big fan of all of you guys, like, way before I even had any type of relationship with y'all. So to be, available now on your podcast and your interview, like, this is crazy to me. Like, I'm tripping out over here still.
Aw, dude, thanks. I appreciate that. Nah, dude, it's cool because we are definitely learning from each other. Like, you guys have definitely different tools than what we had when we started. Like, I think what's hard now is that there's a lot more distraction to like work through, like when we started it off, it was just like Instagram wasn't even that huge yet. So it's like we were just focused on like in the shop type of work. But now it's like balancing all of that stuff, but also trying to stay on top of all these different platforms, and things are always changing. All the rules are changing. So, it's definitely cool to have people like you to kind of, for me, keep me on my toes, to kind of keep creating and just keep pushing.
Yeah, but even you too, like your evolution over the past years that I've been evolving has been crazy enough as is. Like I almost I almost stopped considering you like I can't even call you a barber at this point. Like you're so creative in so many different fields. Like you're just a creative. Like I don't even know where to pinpoint it now. Like your growth has been so crazy to where somebody can't limit you to only cutting hair anymore. And I think that's extremely important to highlight to other people and to put on for this industry is that you have so many different talents that you've tapped in through the start of cutting hair that now allows you to be anybody you want to be. And I never want to see people limit themselves. And I feel like a lot of people limit themselves in the industry we're in to where a lot of people have the mind of, oh, all you do is cut hair, just stick to cutting hair, stick to this and stick to that. But you've broken those barriers and you've pushed the limits on what you could be as a person and what you could accomplish. And like that's something I admire greatly about you is even the trips you took. Like I don't know if I can speak about it, but some of the people you've been able to work with and record and edit for and make content and all of this started from haircutting, but now you're just like this crazy creative person with so many different talents. It's awesome to watch.
If you just take the step to just like, okay, I could do this, but like what else? Like I let hair kind of guide me for a really long time before I even realized I was into like videography and photography. But I think just allowing yourself to try something new. It's like hair was good, it kind of carries you. And I think finding that one thing that allows you to move through life is really important to find first. The formula that has helped me through barbering has literally helped me with photography and videography and just trying to put myself in places that I know will still allow me to grow. And it's kind of like even for you, like I watched you just cutting, I think you're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Fayetteville, North Carolina, yeah.
So even from there to a quick move to now you're Atlanta, like now you're flying across the nation doing hair for different artists. Like that's crazy. Like I can't even imagine where you're going to end up in the next year.
Yeah, I can't honestly, I can't either. Like, cause we're like, I'm in it. We're in it as who we are, and I do this all day, and I'm not thinking about it from a third person perspective ever of what I've accomplished or what I'm getting done or who I've been with or anything. Like I'm just doing it day by day. But when I do take a step back and I listen to like you telling me what I've accomplished and things like that, is I don't know, it's surreal. It's hard. It's almost hard for me to believe myself. I'm so grateful for everything and. Like that's crazy when I think about even the time I've done and what I've able to be done. This is I can't imagine what the next year is gonna hold. The next couple of months is gonna be crazy.
Oh, for sure. And what I notice different is like you really just capture each moment to be the best. Like you appreciate things as they come. Like I always see you being like super humble, so accepting, so nice to everyone that comes in contact with you. You are living in the moment and less of like anxiety of thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or what the hell happened yesterday. Like there's one conversation that I remember really well was when, we were dealing with, sometimes a little online hate, but going through that and talking with you just kind of helped me think about it differently. You know what I mean? And do you remember that conversation we had?
Yeah, we talk a lot. Yeah, I hate to, like, I hate to even like, man, even shine a light on that. But if I could take that, if we could take this conversation and allow others to see it, because I know a lot of other people are gonna go through it, and that's just something you can't avoid. Like that shit sucks. And for the people that do hate and the people that do put that out there, like I pray for them and I hope that they get some sort of healing to change the outlook of what they're putting out into the universe. But we're both big on law of attraction and bringing things to our life that we truly believe in. And I don't believe in putting anything out there that I don't want to come back to me. So I don't got no time to put no hate out. Like that just doesn't make sense.
Right. No, I don't get it either. And it just sucks that it happens. But, for anyone that's listening, that's going through that, whether it's a bad review, like don't be so hard on yourself, because it's literally part of the process. It's going to happen at any level. You're going to deal with something that might not be the easiest, but just being able to move through it and not letting yourself get stuck in those stages is really important.
Yeah, I like how you said any level, because I can think about the levels right now. Like even when I started in the garage, I get started from people like telling me that my haircuts weren't worth more than $5. And then it was like people in my high school that told me that I messed their hair up in high school and told the whole school not to go to me. And then it became like in barber school when I had other barbers and even barbers in the city try to stop me from getting my license. And then it's always, no matter what step you get to, it's going to be something. but you gotta prepare for that before it gets there, because it started off as just somebody locally hating on me for my price, and then now it's like we got hundreds and thousands of people that hate us on us daily. So you gotta prep yourself for that to come. It comes with territory, they say, and the bigger you get, the more it's gonna go. It's gonna come this way, but I just try to bounce it off my head. Bounce it out.
Right. And one thing that really helps me get through it is this simple thing. It's like, if you can't handle what's happening to you at the moment, what makes you think you can handle more? And when I hear that, I'm like, you're right. If I want more than this is what I got to get through. And one of the hardest things to practice is definitely compassion. I think in the beginning, when it all started happening, I had trouble like being okay that people weren't always, accepting of you or liked your stuff. Like that was really hard for me, because I'm like, why? Like I never dish out any negativity on anybody ever. Never left a negative message for anybody. I don't understand the purpose of all that, but I just remember like I don't do it. So what am I not doing correctly? But it's not even about us anymore. You know what I mean? When it comes to that kind of thing, it's not about us. It's about them. It's a projection of like what they're feeling about. And
what they're going through.
Yeah. And when I started learning how to use compassion more, I think it really helped me kind of like settle a lot of like anger inside me when those things would happen. And it allowed me to understand more like, like this person, group, whoever must be going through something that's not good.
Like I feel like it's like you said, it's an inside battle they're going through, and it's something they gotta fix first. So it's like you said, it's not us. Like we're doing everything we can to be the best, positive people that we can. But sometimes the people that come across as like that, it's something inside of them they're fighting.
Like, okay, so you're 20 years old.
Yeah, 20. Yep.
Where do you get all this wisdom from?
Shoot, reading a lot of books and listening to a lot of, just literally listening to my elders. I want to say that first and foremost. Books are great, but when people put game on me and people spit knowledge to me, I literally listen to it. I'm not that young kid that hears stuff from older people, and I'm like, yo, they don't know what they're talking about. You don't understand me. Oh, I'm 20. You're 40. You don't know me. Like you don't know what I go through. So I think that's a common mistake that a lot of people around my age will make, is that they'll push away older people from putting knowledge on them because they don't want to feel like they're getting sunned or they're getting like talked down on. But I try to humble myself in every opportunity to learn from everybody. So that allows me to have a lot of wisdom and have a lot of knowledge, and for me to speak the way I do is because everything I'm being told, like I listen to it, and whether I agree with it, whether I like it or not, I take it all in. And then I just, I dish out and I apply the things that I felt like were necessary to me. But I'm never, pushing anybody away from spitting some game. It's something we can learn from everybody. Yeah, it's all about humbling yourself. I don't ever want to feel like with any type of success and materialistic gain that I've ever gotten, that I'm too good to listen to somebody, that might not have that. I don't ever want to feel like my success is going to stop me from listening to somebody. Like, I don't ever want to get no type of reward or get no type of car or buy no type of jewelry to where I'm like, you ain't got this, I ain't got to listen to you. I just want to make sure that I'm humble enough and grateful enough to take in any type of knowledge from anybody at any level I get to.
Right. And I mean, so far, let's see, you are now cutting in Atlanta. You are also an educator for Babeless, and you recently just launched some merch, right?
Yeah, it's coming. I got a lot of it made. I got my first product that's going to be released but before the end of this month, hopefully. This corona is putting a little bit of a hold on everything just because of how bad it's messing up the economy.
And also, too, if anyone doesn't know Vic, he also has an online academy that I think is really amazing, that he is putting out basically all the cuts that he does, that he is also doing a breakdown version for people. And how do you sign up for this program?
So the online academy is going to be re-released soon here. I want to say I'm at 11 videos and I'm looking to get 20 done. So I got like 9 more tutorials that I'm going to be creating. Part of the reason being is I learned my lesson with the last academy. I did release one last year, and when I released it, I was trying to push this project out so quick, and I was trying to get it done on such a timeline that I didn't get it done to the point where, to the level of quality that I really wanted to be at. So I pushed it out early. I didn't have enough videos made. The website wasn't all the way done. So I learned my lesson with that. So now I'm making sure that this academy is gonna have enough content to sustain anybody that subscribes for a good amount of time and be worth the investment times 5. It's all, everything is going to be on VicBlends.com. That is one site, one end all be all for everything. You can buy all my merchandise, my products. You can subscribe to the academy all on one site. Everything will be in one spot. So it'll be on VicBlends.com.
You literally do also, that I notice, is that you drop a lot of free game on Instagram as well. There's a lot of really good tips you leave out for people. And I think a lot of people are definitely gravitating towards that because you don't see that often, you know? Everyone posts is like, okay, here's a good haircut. But you actually go the extra mile and saying like, okay, we'll do this. Like the one that I can think of off the top of my head is the one where I think it was you were doing a beard edge up, but his whatever he was growing out was like pushed back or something looking, right? I love that one. I was like, wow, that's a huge difference because the original path, somebody that sees that, they're like, oh, it's too far. You probably have to regrow it out. But you were able to transition that into something that actually looked really good for what it was.
So that whole thing about me putting out that free knowledge on Instagram was I ain't gonna lie, like I got a lot of hate for it. I got a lot of lashback for it. I got a lot of people telling me that I should stop doing that. I'm messing up the game. That, the game should be sold, not told, as they would say. And they're trying to they're like shunning me for that. They're trying to get on me for putting that type of knowledge out. And first off, just for the fact that I want to be helpful. I want to fulfill the purpose to help everybody out that I can as organically and as passionate as I could do it. So me putting that out on my platform allowed me to do that. But even from a branding in a marketing aspect, like people don't understand what that has been doing for me, for my brand, and for the marketing purpose of me using content like that. That allows you to create better relationship with the people that you have that follow you. I don't ever want to be the person that is just this image that you see on Instagram, this image you see online, and you can't touch them, you can't speak to them, you can't get anything from them other than just looking at them and appreciating what they do from a distance. So if I could put something out there that somebody could watch and they can apply to their life for free, and it actually makes a difference on the cuts they do, and it brings them more money in their pockets, like that type of relationship and that type of following that I'm going to create towards that is going to be 10 times better than me doing the craziest big chop transformation that I got 1 million views for, but it helped nobody. So I just started focusing my content and trying to create a lane to where I could create a different audience of people that are more in tune with the content I want to put out, and it's a win-win relationship.
Oh, for sure. No, and that's what it is too. It's like that's the good thing about social media. It's like you can use it for whatever you want it to be. So if you wanted to use it for, educational purposes, then, you can brand your whole page around that. But for other people, it's more so like a portfolio page, and it's not to say one is better than the other, but I think that's also really important is finding which one speaks the most to you. So for you, obviously it is educational. So you have, like, off the top of my head, your page is very informational. You shed a lot of inspiration. You shed a lot of your stories, things you're able to go through and share with your followers on like moments, articles that you get featured in. Like that's all really cool. And it should inspire people more than anything.
Yeah, that's all I want to do is I want to inspire and motivate, and I felt like that was my purpose, to be on this earth. Whether I was doing the cutting hair or not, is that I needed to inspire and I needed to motivate somebody to be a better them. So if I have this platform, why would I don't want to use it for selfish reasons. I don't want to be that dude. I'll say this, I do post a couple of pictures of myself on there here and there. I don't want to be that dude that just uses my stuff for like selfish reasons. If I got this platform, I need to use it for a positive purpose.
Oh, for sure. No, I think you're doing a really great job, and your growth on that is insanely fast.
Oh yeah, it surprises me. Like the social media growth is crazy. Like
momentum is so important because once you lose it, it's really hard to rebuild. And I go through that phase all the time. It goes good, and then I get into like a cold zone. It happens often, more so definitely this year. I think because I'm just trying to tap into different things, and I'm like putting my attention into other things that it's hard for me to like stay on top of it sometimes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Who brought that to my attention, who told me this was Frank the barber. So I saw my first Orlando premiere. I was talking to Frank at the booth, one of the booths, and he told me because he was like he always proud of me. I met Frank at my first ever hair show, Barber Brothers, before I had anything done for myself, or anything built, or any type of following or anything. So when I met Frank, he saw me from the bottom up. And when I saw him at Orlando Premiere, he told me to what he said. He said it wasn't stay relevant, but it was like he said it's easy to make it, but it's harder to stay relevant. So it's like it's easy for you to go viral and be this person, but it's harder to stay relevant. So he told me not to fall off of it and think that literally stuck in my mind. That like stuck with me like glue. Like it was implanted in my mind for life after he told me that, because it makes sense. Like as crazy as it sounds, like it is so easy to go viral. It is too easy. Like for you to make a video that goes viral to get a lot of views, that's the easiest part. The hardest part is sustaining that and creating a snowball effect where you're growing into something bigger than one video. It doesn't take
the consistency is very hard.
One single viral video, but for you to make 15, 20, 30 videos consistently in a month that have the same reaction.
Yeah.
Now you're doing some type of work behind it.
No, I totally agree with that. It's very difficult to balance all of it. So how do you feel like you balance your schedule out? Like, do you have days where you're creating content? Do you have days when you cut specifically, or do you bounce that around? Like, kind of give me like a rough schedule of like what your week looks like.
My week, I still cut in the shop a lot, which is something I feel like a lot of people overlook, is that I'm still in the barber shop like 5 days out of the week. So Tuesday through Saturday, I cut in the barber shop, 8 to 7 p.m. on appointments, and then usually I take an after-hour appointment, or I'll do a video after hours, or I'll do a house call or whatever it is. But when I'm in Atlanta and I'm home, usually I'm just working on haircuts, or I'm in the shop. But when I'm in the shop, I'm able to create content in the shop. So most of my transformation videos, most of my education videos, my tip videos, pictures, all that stuff, all that content comes from the shop. But when I'm in the shop, I'm able to create and have this content through my craft. Anything outside of that, to where like I'm out after hours recording videos, that's content I'm creating for my online academy. That's a house call I'm doing.
You do that after.
After. So I do all that 7 p.m. plus. But 8 to 7 p.m. is when I'm doing appointments. So any academy video that you guys are going to see on the academy come soon has been recorded like at nighttime, like 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., sometimes midnight. Like those are awesome. I put in some hours into those. But I guess that's at 8 a.m. I wake up in the morning around. I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to wake up earlier, but now I ain't gonna lie. I wake up around like 7:30.
That's pretty early.
I live at my I live at my barber shop though. Like I live right above it. I'm in the same complex, so nice. I could wake up at the time of my appointment and be on time for my appointment. So
that's nice.
I try
to
sleep
very
in.
Convenient.
I'm usually up really late almost every night. So I just sleep in until I gotta go to the shop. And I go to the shop. I bust out whatever haircuts I got. Try to create content in the shop. Usually, my mind is always on content, which is one thing that I guess that I don't like, but you can never get your mind off of it once you start. Like once I start, and I want to keep this ball rolling. I'm always thinking about new content, always thinking about a new vlog, thinking about some sort of video, whatever I could do. I'm always trying to create some type of content in the shop, and then usually Sundays and Mondays, my days off. That's when I usually travel out of town for a baby list, for a show, competition, whatever it is that I got to be a part of. I usually travel on Sundays and Mondays. Most shows are on Sundays, which is like a normal day off for barbers.
So Vic, thank you for your time. This was a really awesome segment with you, learning about you and sharing your story a little bit of just like the craziness behind like your posts and how you've been able to just kind of stay consistent with everything that you're doing. I'm proud of you, everything that you do. And is there any last advice you'd give to any of the viewers?
Yeah, first I appreciate the opportunity again. This gives me an opportunity to now, shed a light on who I am and, what we've grown through and how do we maneuver and get things done. So any opportunity that I have to share my story and share this type of motivation, I'm very grateful for it. But, just to anybody out there listening, just recapping the whole conversation, there's going to be people that are going to try to stop y'all. Don't let it stop y'all. You guys are going to be set on a journey that is far, far beyond, what somebody on Instagram could say to stop you. So don't let no type of hate or any type of energy come into you getting to where you need to be at. Other than that, create content. Content is king right now. We live in a content world. We live in a social media world right now where you have to be on top of your content. And as bad as I don't want to say that, because I'm a very people person and solid person, to where I believe in in hand contact and things like that, like the old school ways. But the wave right now is staying on top of your content, staying consistent with it, posting every single day, making sure you capture moments, and then you never know where you're gonna end up at. So if you vlog your journey and you capture everything, you're gonna be very grateful that you had that when you make it to where you're supposed to be at. So I wish I had some videos from when I very first started, and I can show those now, but I wasn't thinking about that. So for now, for me to tell y'all, like, make sure you capture everything from day one. I bet you too, so if I bet you wish you had some videos of you, like, in first shop, first started, like, oh, I can't wait to be where I'm gonna be at, but it just wasn't. We weren't thinking like that, when we first started. So, just create that content, stay positive, and stay focused more than anything.
Right, dude. Thank you again so much, and shit. How am I gonna end this? Hold on. I just lost my train of thought. It's just weird because you gotta go into a different mode, Shit, hold up.
All right, guys, it's your girl StayGold 31 here. Appreciate you guys tuning into the vlog. We'll see you on the next episode of On the Podcast, Sofie.
Oh my God. Well, Vic, thank you for that last piece of advice. I'm sure somebody could find that useful. And if you guys have heard this whole way through this little conversation I've had with Vic, I hope you guys are feeling fueled and hopeful, because if this guy could do it, it just goes again to prove that anybody can do it if they're determined. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.